Hello. Don't be upset. Thank you. We don't even know if we'll have to push it back yet. Right now, it's just kind of like, um, it's 2 days before we would be technically allowed to have, like, a certain amount of people at the event. So I think our venue lady is gonna see if they can do, like, an exception because it's, like, 2 days before, like, what's gonna be the difference in 2 days. So, just waiting to hear back now. I don't know when I'll hear. Oh, yeah. We've sent out invites, and then we sent out something saying that we were postponing it for the date that we picked, our second date. So I really don't have to send out something else. Again. Yeah, ugh. Basically, she was saying that our venue lady said that in our area, they're opening up the area in phases. And so whenever they open it up, I think it's from like May 1st to May 31st, there's supposed to be like no gatherings of any people. And then from like June 1st to June 29th, they're allowing gatherings of up to 50 people. And our wedding's supposed to be the 27th. So it's 2 days before the next phase, which would allow basically it to open up from June 29th to July, whatever, of 100 people. And so we're hoping that they will make an exception because it's 2 days before. We'll see, though. Yeah, I know. And I know, like, everybody's going through hard things, and I know that. So I try not to, like, my wedding is just, like, I don't know. Yeah, but of course, then I think about people saying that I'm selfish for being mad about it. Or not mad, but upset about it. Wedding favors could be masked. Yeah, I know. I don't know. Yeah, we told her it'd be 100 people. Yeah, I know. So we'll see. We'll just have to go from there. I think one of my biggest concerns too right now is that like we've already had to reschedule everything, so it's like, okay, we know our photographer can be there and our videographer and stuff now, but if we push it out, all these dates have had to been like rushed to be filled. How do we know everybody's gonna be able to like work with us on our date? So yeah. Hello. I'm trying. I'm hoping we'll hear today. Like, I've been checking my email as much as possible, to see, because the last communication I had from her was at like 9:30 this morning. And so Ina and I talked about it a little bit, and if it doesn't work out where we can still have it on the 27th, we're probably going to move it back to July 12th. But like I said, we don't know if people are going to be able to, like, work with it. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm trying. Trying. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. I don't want to continue to talk about it too much. Like, I feel myself on the tipping point. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm getting ready to, like, fall over the edge again. So. You're in your sweats trying to stay clean. In a month later, things are going to change. It's going to be a beautiful day. Thank you. I know, I'm trying. I want to change the topic. Hey, how about those Yankees? um, we're going to talk about chapter 3 today. I did see a few questions up here that I want to get to really quick, though. I think I missed it. I don't know where it went. Danny asks, any tips for getting over a plateau but doing ADF for 4 months but have not lost a pound? Have you been adjusting your calories? As you're losing weight, you won't need to consume as many calories, so that could be one thing. It could also be maybe what you're eating. I know whenever I plateaued, I had to reevaluate the month that I had before and kind of change some things in my diet. And somebody asked, what's the challenge? The challenge is a 95-day of fasting challenge that we're doing. It started back on March 22nd or 23rd, and we're day 40 now, so we've been doing it for a while. Dennis, I'm not really sure about the situation. I haven't really been following it too closely, to be honest, just because I'm trying to stay off of news sources and things. Megan, we should do a little graduation ceremony for you. How's the weather there? It's nice today. I think I'm going to be doing another meeting after this one, to talk about kind of what I told you guys yesterday, and then I'm probably gonna go for a walk. When you break your fast, do you consume cereals or dairy? I don't do cereal. I do oatmeal, and dairy I'll do like a little bit of half and half in my creamer, but I'm not a big milk person, like dairy milk person. I do almond milks. I don't even do like, I mean, I'll do cheese like on a breakfast sandwich or something like that, but um, for dairy products, maybe some cottage cheese, things like that, but not huge in dairy whenever I break my fast. But that's just because it's my choice. Let's see. I ordered the book, Hunger Bully. I'm so stoked. How is everyone feeling today? Really good chapter. Hey, I'm on day 3. I just finished the whole book. I got it as an audiobook. It was so good. I'm happy we're talking about it. I just ordered the book. Hope it comes before Monday. I feel fine. No issues. On fasting days, what can I have for 500 calories? Really, there's personally, when I say 500 calories, I feel like you can really have whatever you want, but you're gonna want to get something that's gonna help tie you over, keep you full, because that's the reason you're eating those 500 calories. So try to do something like yogurt and berries, maybe cottage cheese and berries, things like that. Something that'll keep you full, not like empty calories. Um, Hello from Italy, just found you. Hello, Sophie. Fasting day calories should only be used if you really need to. How do you deal with the mental state? I know some days I'm really strong and other days like today I keep going back and forth wanting and then fasting. I'm trying to do 48 hours. That's kind of me today, but that's just because of my emotions. Really, I just try to keep my eye on what I'm trying to achieve and see if I really need to eat. When you get to a certain point with fasting, you'll realize whenever you're hungry, just because you're hungry, and it's not a real hunger compared to like when you're actually really, really hungry. Sorry, looking over these really quick. I want to take up knitting and crocheting, but I don't know if I could do it. Mm, Sorry, reading. Will that affect my weight loss? I need to lose 80 pounds. It shouldn't affect your weight loss. You just won't necessarily hit those autophagy benefits, but because you're eating less calories, it should help you lose weight. I lost 10 pounds. My first week of alternate day intermittent fasting fell off the next week just as inconsistent, and I'm gaining then losing, and it's very up and down for me. That's gonna kind of happen. Your weight will fluctuate anyway. Um, if you eat one day and you fast the next. I know Kimberly said too sometimes she'll fast a day and her weight will actually be higher than the day that she ate. So it really kind of depends on per person. Try to, stick with us and see if you can push through those days. You've done it before, you can do it again. It's okay, you deserved. How are you? You're a Cancer. I'm a Gemini, and I'm one day off from being a Cancer, and I think I have more Cancer traits. I wanted to thank you. I started ADF on Monday, and I'm down 6 pounds. Congratulations. Sorry, reading about this. Yeah, that's true too. Dennis also suggests that on your plateau days, if your body's getting used to it, maybe it's time to change it up. Allow yourself to have like a day where you eat what you want or eat multiple fasting days in a row, or, like eat a fasting day and an eat day and a fasting day. You can eat multiple days in a row to kind of help like change things up a little bit, and that'll help kind of like spark your metabolism. Hmm. What's the best way? I'm gonna read just a couple more questions, guys, and then I really want to get into the third chapter of the book. What is the best way to preserve the muscle mass during intermittent fasting? Really, I haven't had any issue losing muscle mass. I mean, I lost all my weight and I'm still intermittent fasting, and as long as I'm keeping up on my nutrition and eating proteins and stuff like that on my actual eat days, it's helping keep up with the muscle. So, really, you won't deteriorate muscle. I don't know, I can't remember. I'm really hoping. Does anybody know in this book, do they talk about like losing muscle with intermittent fasting? Because I know that's a big concern of a lot of people, thinking that their body's going to eat the muscle and not the fat, but that's not true. And somebody pointed out, I think it was Dennis a couple days ago, pointed out, like, for example, your heart is a muscle. Intermittent fasting is not going to eat your heart, So I'm finding it really hard to get started. I get really hungry. Well, we'll kind of talk about that in this chapter, actually. Um, Good to know about getting plateaus. Excellent suggestion, Dennis. That's what I do. Can I just say everyone in this community is so amazing. I love the fact that everyone is so supportive and positive. Such a nice change. You all are great. And Rachel, you kick ass. Oh, thank you. For best results, try to fast properly without calories and stay under your calorie count on eat days. Also exercise to burn even more. I wake up early. Yeah. Eat days today. I got some BCA. Ooh, ooh, to help. Awesome. I heard mixed things. People say do not work out on your fasting days. Other people say to work out on your fasting days. Which do you do and what works best for you? I work out on both my eat days and my fasting days, and it has given me fine results. I don't have an issue with it. I know some people say not to and some people say do, so it's really up to you. In the beginning I couldn't because it made me sick, but now I do it. I lift on my fasting days, and I love working out in a fasted state because then I feel like I'm burning more that way. Eat when hungry or get your calories in and avoid under eating during eat days? That's a good question because yesterday I really didn't have much of an appetite and I made myself eat lunch, and then around dinner time I finally um, had a little bit more of an appetite. I just wanted to get in my calories so I could make it through the day. Okay, guys, I'm gonna stop reading questions and stuff, and then I'll come back to them because I really want to get into this third chapter now. If you guys see anything pop up, then please feel free to answer them as I'm reading and going over this chapter. I want to read Kimberly's comment here. I went from only being able to lift 135, being able to lift 200, all while doing ADF. Awesome. I'm hoping to get to that point. um, Exercising on your fasting days made you in the beginning sick. I had to today, did a, oh, yeah. Anyway, okay, sorry. Distractions. Okay, so in this chapter we're going to go over hormones and the hunger bully. This is a chapter that kind of made a lot of sense to me, and this is the first one I actually read from the book. Let's see here. Basically, it talks about hunger kind of being a bully in a way, because if you constantly feed it, it's going to constantly bother you. Does that make sense? It's kind of struck home to me too with things that have been going on the internet. So basically, Eve here talks about how she constantly felt like she had to feed her hunger because she was always hungry. She says, the hunger bully knocked on my brain hundreds of times each day, so I ate in excess, usually 6 to 10 times. So every time she would feel hungry, she would feed that hunger, which of course led her to being overweight. She says, I hadn't always thought of hunger as a bully. When I was younger, I saw it as a natural part of my life, and then as I got hungrier in my adult years, I just accepted that I was worse at dealing with hunger than other people. And then she kind of gives a little bit of an example here of something that she kind of put towards her life, which kind of made sense to me. She says, my daughter Luna was the one who finally gave me the answer of why she was so powerless when it came to weight and health. It didn't make sense. When Luna was in elementary school, she was the target of bullies. One kid in particular became an ever-present problem, and the bullying got so bad that the school administration had to intervene. Nothing changed. The bully's behavior continued. She began working with her daughter to see what behavior she could change to lessen the chances. So she says, when I talked to Luna, I thought hard about the kind of kid she was and realized one of her most notable characteristics was her desire to fit in and her willingness to do anything to make it happen. She needed to be accepted. That need to be accepted had caused her to take the bully's taunts to heart. She obsessed about his comments, decided everything he said about her must be true, and instead of fighting back, became powerless against him. She reasoned that if she could give the bully what he wanted, the suffering would end. It wouldn't, of course. A bully's goal is to cause distress in order to gain power. I realized I needed to learn this lesson too. Hunger was my bully, and only my actions and reactions could give it power. My belief that my hunger would only stop if I gave it the food it wanted was ludicrous. If I just ignored it, like most bullies, it would disappear. So, let me tell you that hunger is temporary. It will not always go away if you give it enough food. So you're hungry, you might continuously keep feeding it because you feel like, you need to because you're still hungry. Once I changed my way of eating and only saw the hunger bully or only saw the hunger bully 4 or 5 times a day, I began simply to notice it instead of feeling afraid of it. You don't have to give in to it, simply recognize the constant hunger that comes from unhealthy, long-standing habits and understand that with fasting, you're working to turn those around. And then I really like this example here that she said, today when I fast, I visualize the process of my body choosing to burn stored fat as energy. This is something I personally used to do too. Whenever I was kind of like in the early stages of fasting, every time I would feel my body get like hungry or whatever on my fasting days, I would think of it and be like, I'm feeling hungry right now, but because I'm feeling hungry right now, my body is actually burning excess fat on my body. And this is kind of what she does as well. She goes, today when I fast, I visualize the process of my body choosing to burn stored fat as energy. I even go so far as to place a band-aid on a fatty area of my body and remind myself that when I fast, I'm not depriving myself. Even if I get hungry, I'm not starving. I'm simply feasting on fat stored, which I have saved up for this very day. You can do the same if you have excess fat on your body. You already have the energy you need to make it through a day, 3 days, a week, or more. Food is not required, and it's the hunger bully that's tricking you into thinking that. So that kind of meant something to me, but I also want to point out that, there are people out there that do have eating disorders, and they might look at themselves in the mirror and think that they have more fat on their body than they do, and so they're trying to do fasting, and they might think that they have that extra fat that they need to burn, and they don't. So I guess in all honesty, with this method, I want you guys to be true with yourself, um, because I don't want you to look at yourself in the mirror and be underweight and still think that you have more to lose, because you don't want to be unhealthy in it that way. And I think that's where some people think that fasting can be not good for your health because you're trying to eat away fat that you don't even have on your body. Does that make sense? I don't want you guys, or even little girls. I don't want little girls to look at their body and think that they have to fast to lose excess fat on their body, when in reality, I mean, it's still probably considered baby fat or fat they might have before they even hit puberty, and I don't want these girls to think that. And that really is something that I want to advocate against, you know? You have to be conscious of how your body really is, I guess, in the long run. And then we'll go over this really quick that I really liked. 7 things I've learned about the hunger bully. Hunger is a habit. Hunger often arises around the times that you normally eat. When you reduce the frequency of when you eat, hunger soon goes away. Hunger is flexible. When you start to make better choices about the things you put in your mouth, hunger lessens over time. Hunger will go away. If you don't eat when you become hungry, eventually the hunger will pass. Hunger is not starvation. You can and will rely on ample extra fat supplies on your body to sustain yourself while you fast. Hunger has it can be a message from your brain, your body, or both. Hunger doesn't always need to be fed. You don't have to give the hunger bully food. If you notice it, you can give it water, other liquids, or ignore it entirely. Hunger doesn't have a capitalized word. With strong mental practices and new habits, you can transform the hunger bully into just hunger. Okay, so moving on, we're going to go on to Jason Fung's part of this book, which this totally made sense to me too. Why do we eat? Because we're hungry. What stops hunger? There are certain hormones that make us full, and these are called I cannot say this word. Um, satiety hormones, is that right? Satiety? Like, I know how to say it in my head, but whenever I try to say it out loud, it does not come out of my mouth right. These are called satiety hormones, and they are very powerful. The stomach also contains stretch receptors. If the stomach is stretched beyond its capacity, it will signal satiety and will tell the brain to make us stop eating. Is that right? Did I say that right? Satan hormones. Satiety hormones. Let's see. Our body satiety 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 because I know Ian told me what it was the other day. Satiety. Satiety? Oh my lord, you guys. I'm so many different pronunciations. Satiety. Ian! I'm gonna have him tell me how it is. Tie like tie your shoe. Satiety? Satiety. Yeah, see? Okay. I'm like, there's so many different ones. Satiety. Okay, thank you guys, because I'm like, I'm seeing so many different pronunciations now. And he's like not paying attention to me in the other room. There's also a really big word in here that begins with C. I don't even think I should learn or like freaking know how to pronounce. Okay, so let's see. Our body often releases satiety hormones to tell us when to stop eating, and once these kick in, it's extremely difficult to eat more. Um, the main satiety hormones are peptide YY, which responds primarily to protein, and clo get ready to write this one down. CHOLECYSTOKININ. See, yes, that word. I know, but I don't know how to say it. Curious how you're gonna pass the Gayrelin. See, I was gonna look these up too on like Google before I said it, and then I just my mind has not been in the right place today because of everything that happened earlier. Can we just pass that word? I know, but I also am on my phone. Grillin? Grillin? Yeah. Yeah, okay, thank you. Um, let's see. So the main hormones are peptide YY, which responds primarily to protein, and that big word, which responds primarily to dietary fat. The final hormone associated with hunger is ghrelin. Is that right? Gremlin. Gremlin hormone. Grillin. Graylin. See, now I'm seeing Grillin and Graylin. Grillin. Yeah, let's just say that's what it is. Grillin. Okay, okay. Um, that's why this part is so hard. I'm like, I don't understand these big words. Let's see here. The final hormone associated with hunger is ghrelin, which is appropriately called the hunger hormone. Let's see. The reason that most people are hungry all the time is that they've been conditioned to believe that the only thing that matters as far as weight loss is concerned is to consume fewer calories than they expend. Governments throughout the Western world have pushed for heavy diet heavy on carbs, the very substances that lead to hunger. Think about it. This actually made sense. Imagine you sat down to a carb-based, calorie-reduced breakfast consisting of 2 slices of white bread and jam. How does the meal impact satiety? Satiety. Um, let's see. Oh, imagine you sat down. Okay. Sure, this doesn't allow for many calories in, but does it control hunger? No, there's no protein to activate peptide YY. There's no fat to trigger that big long C word. Um, there's no bulk to activate stomach stretch receptors. The starches in this meal, which are chains of glucose that are essentially mainlined into the bloodstream, increase insulin. We're left hungry because we have not signaled to the body to not be hungry. At 10:30, we find ourselves scrounging around for a low-fat muffin that will once again leave us ravenous by noon. At lunchtime, we'll look for a large bowl of low-fat pasta and sauce. Already, instead of eating 3 large meals, we're on target to eat 6 to 7 small meals. By 2:30, we're starving again, so we grab a low-fat granola bar and then eat rice for dinner, and then scrounge around the refrigerator for a late night snack because we are so hungry. This is like this meant so much to me too, because when you think back about the things that you eat, like for instance, the things that I have been eating recently that have been filling me up in the morning and stuff like that. Moving on to this next sentence. If you eat bacon and eggs for breakfast, a meal that's high in dietary fat and protein, do you want to eat again at 10:30? No, you don't. For example, yesterday the meal that I had was that zero carb bread, avocado. I had prosciutto, eggs, whatever. That filled me up so long that I did not want to eat again until like dinner time. Okay, the problem becomes amplified if we are eating, as most people are, processed and refined carbs. When you consume refined carbs, your blood sugar levels skyrocket, telling your pancreas to produce a surge of insulin, which is something we talked about yesterday. That huge spike in insulin immediately diverts most of the incoming food energy into storage forms. This leaves relatively little food energy for your metabolism. Your muscles, liver, and brain are still crying out for glucose for energy, and you get hungry despite the fact that you've eaten. It's the worst kind of domino effect if you're looking to maintain or lose weight. We should all make green eggs and ham. That'd be kind of fun. I don't know if you guys, I know I see some of you guys talking about the bread that I'm doing. Oh my goodness, my butt is falling asleep. The bread that I do is the Thin Slim Foods, and I'm actually just recently an affiliate for it. Hey Hannah. And so I have a link that if you guys purchase it through the link, then I do get a little bit of commission off of it. I'm not going to pressure you guys into buying stuff off my link, but I love the stuff, and so whenever I reached out to them and it was just like, hey, I really like your products. They have an affiliate program, so they sent me a link that if you guys purchase stuff through it, I do get like a little bit of commission. I don't know what it is, but if you don't want to purchase it through the link, that's fine. You can go to their website, Thin Slim Foods, and get it there. But I'm really excited to get their sampler pack. I don't know when I'll be getting it though. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. In addition, because these processed foods have had most of all their fiber removed, they don't take up much space when they hit your belly. Therefore, they don't activate the stomach's stretch receptors. At snack time, most of your ingested calories of food energy have already been deposited into your fat cells, so it's no wonder you're getting hungry fast. So, that kind of talks about, certain things that you eat, how it helps your stomach fill up, and things like that. So, hunger, fasting, and Grillin, like Grill, Grillin. What happens to hunger during fasting? People always assume that hunger will increase until it becomes unmanageable. This is one of the things that people talk about all the time too. Like, they're always afraid that they're going to get super hungry. The truth always surprises people. Hunger tends to decrease during fasting. Why? There are many reasons, and the first has to do with the two means by which your body deprives food energy. During fasting, your body switches fuel sources. Instead of relying on blood glucose derived from food for energy, your body begins burning fat, which is stored food energy. That switch is your body entering into a state called ketosis. We've all heard that word a million times before. Once you begin ketosis, your body has access to hundreds of thousands of calories stored in fat. You're feeding it, giving it everything it needs, so why would it need to be hungry? Ghrelin is the so-called hunger hormone, and unlike peptide YY and that big long C word, it increases appetite. So if you want to lose weight on a long-term basis, you need to tone down your ghrelin. I know I'm saying that wrong. How to do that. In one study, subjects undertook a 33-hour fast, and that ghrelin was measured every 20 minutes. The level is lowest at 9 in the morning, the same time that circadian rhythm indicates hunger is the lowest. I'm not good at big words or words in general. This is also generally the end of the longest period of the day which you have not had food. So that's, 9 o'clock is breakfast or whatever. Let's see. So at 9 o'clock, you have not had food for about 14 hours, yet you are the least hungry. The surge of counter-regulatory hormones that happens before we wake up also serves to deaden the appetite. I can kind of see that. Sometimes though, like at 9 o'clock in the morning, I feel like that's when my body is like ready to eat more than anything, because I think my body's trying to tell me that it's time to eat, but I know it's not on fasting days, That kind of resorts to what we were talking about earlier that way. Let's see. There are 3 distinct ghrelin peaks corresponding to lunch, dinner, and the next day's breakfast, suggesting that hunger can be a learned response. We are used to eating 3 meals a day, so we begin to get hungry just because it is time to eat. Kind of like what I was just talking to you guys about, like I get hungry or I feel those hungers at 9 o'clock because that's the time that my body would be used to eating. I'm not saying it wrong? Okay, good. But if you don't eat at those times, it does not continuously increase. After the initial wave of hunger, it recedes and it spontaneously decreases after approximately 2 hours without food. So studies suggest if you ignore your hunger, it will disappear, which is something that I personally have experienced, and I think that anybody who gets through fasting days has probably experienced that as well, or I would hope so. If you stop and think about this, you've experienced this diminished ghrelin response before. Think of a time that you were so busy you worked right through lunch. Maybe at 1 o'clock you were hungry, but you drank some tea, put your nose in the grindstone, and by 3 you were no longer hungry. In those 2 hours you ate a meal of your own body fat. Your body relied on the stores of food energy to get you through that missed meal. And that's completely natural. Bowser is screaming and he's like shaking over on the bed. That's so cute. Your average ghrelin levels over 24 hours of fasting decreases, meaning that eating nothing over a long period of time makes you less hungry. So that's kind of why I'm excited to try the 72 hours of fasting. I want to see what happens. Yeah, I know, fasting gal. That's kind of what I was thinking too. That's why it's like I'm going over certain points and then like skipping forward to certain points of the book, so that way it's not like reading it all the way down the page completely. Let's see. So that's why, like here too, it says, this holds true on very extended fast. A recent study shows that after 3 days of a fast, ghrelin and hunger gradually decreases. So, yay. Let's see here. I'm going to see if there's any more on this page that I thought would be important to read. I wrote down some points. So basically, eating several times a day keeps up that ghrelin and makes you hungry throughout the day. That's kind of a roundabout point. And it decreases with fasting, make your hunger a manageable problem. Yay. Moving on. I really hope that you guys get this book, though, because it does have so much information in it that's so good for anyone. Bye, Tiffany. Let's see here. So, Hunger is a Habit, and this is by Megan, going into Megan's portion of this book. Let's see. If we constantly eat breakfast every single morning at 7, lunch at noon, and dinner at 6, then we learn to be hungry at those times. So it's kind of like training yourself in a way to be hungry at those times, like a body clock. These days, we aren't conditioned to eat just 3 meals a day. Most of us are now snacking or having a meal 6 or more times. And then she kind of pointed out, like, when you go to a conference or a work meeting or something like that, even though you've already had breakfast, they usually always have like bagels or something like that there that you also like might go grab because it's there. So it's like we're always around food. We're in a habit of being in a commute, or like our society in general just like always has muffins or bagels or whatever at the ready whenever you're in the office sometimes, you know. So we can get over feeling like we constantly have to eat that with fasting, just because randomly skipping meals and varying the eating intervals helps break our current habit of feeding 3 to 6 times a day because you're skipping meals and stuff like that. It is really a food obsessed culture, and I'm kind of bad at that. I'm a foodie. I love trying new things and everything like that. You know, like every time there is like a social event or something like that, it's always based around food, which is something else that they also talk about in here that they go over in chapter 20, which of course I haven't made it that far yet. Now that I am completely caught up to where I had stopped reading this book with you guys, I'm gonna have to kind of read ahead a little bit. Tomorrow we are talking about our vision board, though, so I can kind of have some time to do that. And then after I'm done doing this, I'm going to talk to you guys about something else I kind of want to try. Let's see here. Fasting can break all conditioned responses to wanting to eat several times throughout the day. If you are not accustomed to eating every 2 hours, then you will not start salivating like Pavlov's dog every 2 hours. If we form habits to eat every 2 hours, then it is no wonder we find it increasingly difficult to resist all the fast food restaurants while walking around. Kind of like what we were just talking about. We are bombarded daily with images of food, references to food, and food stores. So yeah, like we are constantly surrounded by food. All the ads that we get on Facebook or anything like that, you know. Going cold turkey is not the most successful method of breaking habits, though. Research and clinical experience suggests that a more effective strategy is to replace an unhealthy habit with another, less harmful one. So, for example, if you feel yourself getting hungry on a fasting day or something like that, replace it with coffee, or not even coffee, but tea. That's kind of what she does, chewing gum, or you know, just doing something else at that time that you feel like you need to eat, and that'll kind of break your habit of wanting to feel like you need to eat all those days. Let's see here. And then that way you're kind of working your way into it in a little bit of way. She also talks about in this chapter, she realized that she broke the habit whenever one of her friends were in the hospital, like almost dying, and she realized that whenever she felt that high stress level go up, instead of turning to foods, she turned to tea, which is something that she had been doing, and she realized that she had overcome that wanting to eat things during that emotion just because yeah, she drank tea instead of turning to food, which is, you know, great in itself because it's like she taught herself to do that as well. Let's see. So that's kind of that part. And then this little excerpt here, I'll read, and then that'll be the end of this chapter, and then I'll try to scroll back up and read all the comments as well. But before I scroll up and read the comments, I know there's a lot that popped up, so I'm hoping that I can get through them in the next 15 minutes. I'll tell you guys kind of what I was thinking. Anyway, hunger is often associated with the time of day you're used to eating, a place, or an occasion. Here are a few ways to break a conditioned response to hunger. Eat only at the table. No eating at your desk, no eating in your car, no eating on the couch, bed, during class, at the movies, or a sporting event. If you're tempted to eat at a certain time of day, like 3:30, because you're always snack at 3:30, set an alarm for that time. When the alarm goes off, drink a glass of water or a cup of tea instead of eating. Chances are you'll feel full. I kind of thought that was interesting. When you're on a plane, put on headphones when the flight attendant walks by and decline offers to snacks. Things like that. So, anyways. Then it would be chapter 4, forget calorie restriction, and I haven't read it yet. So random while I'm thinking about this now, because I want to kind of talk to you guys about it. I was kind of thinking about if you were in the 95 Days of Fasting group, and if not, if you want to message me on Instagram or something like that. I'm thinking on Fridays of doing Zoom sessions with you guys, but I'm only going to be limiting it to a certain amount of people per Zoom session, because I can't have like 90 people in a Zoom session at the same time asking questions or talking or whatever. So I kind of want to be like respectful, maybe put it down to like 10 people. So if you're in the 95 Days of Fasting group and you feel like that's a good idea and you want to start doing Zoom sessions, then we can start doing those on Friday afternoons. Thanks, Chris. Satiety. Satiety? Satiety. Satiety. Yeah, anyway. Or my sanity, we could say that too. But anyways, if you're wanting to do like Zoom sessions on Fridays, I think that that'd be a really cool idea. Of course, I would have to figure out how to send out like the emails and stuff like that. So yeah, if you guys are wanting to do that, I think it'd be really cool to get together and kind of talk with you guys more personally. Like I said, it would probably be like, if you've done one Zoom session already, I'm going to choose other people to do it, just because I want to, be able to work everybody into the session at the same time. And Geek Squad, pay me again. Boy! So anyway, guys, that is kind of what I was thinking. And now I'm going to go back and I'm going to read through stuff and see what all we're saying. And there's a lot. I might kind of just like skip over some things too, if I see you guys have had it answered. Okay, so I saw some of the stuff about talking about food. Okay, so now we're into what I was trying to say, and everybody else. Oh, I can't even go back up that far. I can't even see all the comments. Okay. Yeah, we should start a video thread of pronunciation. That'd be funny. Best to do a summary. It'll be fun. We can check out each other. What book are you reading? Blee, 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 blee. And then we talked about the dim sum food. I know I saw about the copyright thing, and that's why I was kind of skipping around the book instead of just reading straight down the page. And I did change some of the verbiage, so I know you guys might have been a little bit concerned. Hey, that's not nice, giving me big words that no one can pronounce. Tofu. Do some mentions when you get those hunger pains. Okay, fun fact. Sorry guys, just kind of reading through. I highlighted a sentence on the next page. When men fast, the hunger hormone decreases only a slight amount, but women show a huge decrease. Okay. Bunny on the foods. Sorry, still reading through here, guys. There are many here with my name. Okay. Oh, forgive me. Can eat fruits, don't skip the hunger decreases. Oh, I did skip that. Sorry, Dennis. I didn't see you say that. Like I said, I was trying to like skim over parts of the book that I felt like would be best to like talk about, and I didn't think about that one in specifically. Okay. I feel like I'm missing some things on here too, but I'm also almost to the end. You guys are so nice though. This is why I love coming on here, and I'm really glad that I did today, especially with everything that was happening at the beginning of this chat. I just was not, feeling happy. And you guys totally made me feel so much better. I really appreciate it. Oh, well, yeah, I wouldn't be like a saint. I could do Friday. My comments aren't moving anymore. There we go. Okay. Thanks for recommending the book. How are you coping with not feeling obsessive over food therapy at all? The underlying image issues. It's gotten a lot better, and I don't know exactly what it was. I think it's just because I've been able to kind of see the changes more in my body. It's something clicked with me with everything that's been going on, and stuff like that. I just finally think that I'm seeing those changes that have been there, but I haven't noticed them. I think something must have dramatically changed in my brain almost or something, so I'm not too worried about it anymore. Have I ever calculated? That'd actually be really cool to figure out, Clark, to see how much money I would have like saved not eating every day. That'd be really interesting. You're gonna have to start. I can't hire an assistant. I can hardly hire myself. I did try doing it through Facebook Messenger, and it did not work for me and my friends. Like, we could not get it to work. Is it okay to start ADF if I don't want to make it a lifestyle? Yeah, absolutely. You can do it for a while and then go back to eating. I know, for example, I'll probably go back to eating every day again, but right now I like the way I feel. It's kind of a big part of my life, and so thank you. How'd the app go? Well, we haven't talked about it yet. We're talking about it after this. I'm super excited about that meeting too. Ian and I are going to meet and see what's going on. So I'm really excited. I kind of wanted to write down some key points. So I think after this group, I'm going to write down some things that I would like to see in an app. And yeah, I'm so excited. It's going to be really awesome. So super excited. Really wonder why I've done it in a group of 4 and it worked. Yeah, see, we tried doing it with a group of 4 and our internet connection or something wouldn't work, or we couldn't hear each other. The volume, like, I don't know, it was weird. I can't remember exactly what it was, but we tried Zoom instead. Do you find your stomach capacity has shrunk, like you get full faster on your eat days? Well, that's kind of one of the things they talked about in this book was whenever you say like you feel like your stomach has shrunk, it's because of what you've eaten that has stretched your stomach receptors, that makes you feel more full. So on my eat days anymore, because of the things that I've been eating, which is the higher proteins and the healthier fats or whatever, my stomach receptors stretch out and I feel so much more full. So I definitely do get faster or fuller on my eat days. I use the Zero app. I've not used the Zero app one. The Senza. Nice, I'll check it out. How much water do you drink in a day? Try to drink at least half of these. This is a gallon water bottle. Oh gotcha, sometimes the internet can be real pain. I know. I like sometimes whenever I do these live sessions with you guys, my internet will just cut out. And I hate that because then I'm like, no, I'm losing everything that we just talked about. I found that out too when I was strictly doing rolling 72s. Yeah. The Zero app. I don't know if I don't think I've used the Zero app. There's so many out there, and then I just heard that the Do Fasting app is trying to say that they're Jason Fung's app and they're getting sued. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's a big water bottle. Trying a new fasting schedule now to be more sustainable long term. Sunday, dinner, eat, fast until Tuesday, dinner, fast until Thursday, and then just dinner Friday. Roughly 152 hours a week fasted. If you think that's going to be sustainable for you long term, then go for it. I know personally, I've said this before too, like I don't do one meal a day, or I don't, I guess you technically would be eating one meal, skipping a day, eating one meal, skipping a day. My only concern would be if you're getting in enough calories, to make sure that you don't start plateauing because your BMR, or, you're going below your BMR or whatever. But if it works for you, girl, it's the best and so simple. Huh. Yeah, I use the life fasting tracker now. Whenever I do track my fast. I don't track very often anymore. I don't really use a calculator anymore just because I don't feel like I need to. Yeah, you can do HIIT if you don't feel like you want to pass out. I feel fine doing HIIT. HIIT might be difficult for the first few weeks. Take it easy until your body feels used. Oh wait, learns how to use stored fuel better. Oh, high intensity. You can do whatever exercises you feel comfortable with. Excuse me. On the days where you feel the least amount of motivation, how do you push through? I feel so restless today because it's my first official back to getting on track. And you feel like you're all over the place. It's going to be like that once you're trying to get back on track. Just try to keep in mind that you are trying to get back on track and you're trying to reach for that bigger goal and that bigger, broader picture. You're trying to reach towards your weight loss goal or whatever, and try to put that in the forefront of your mind. I definitely think that a vision board will help you. Just because it's that's kind of what we're going to be making tomorrow, but seeing that on your wall and being like, I have this goal that I want to hit, I can hit that goal, and it's like doing that, I think, will help you see where you want to go. I just repeated myself a bunch. Sorry, my brain is not working well today. Do I do pre-workout? I do not. I do not take any supplements or pre-workouts or anything like that. I just make sure that I eat a good amount of protein on my days that I'm eating. Rachel, can you explain to the new and the fasting newbies not to jump into trying to drink a gallon of water a day? I think that you need to drink enough water though, so I don't know. I know a lot of people that drink a gallon of water a day actually. Why is 500 calories the limit for you if you have to eat on a fasting day? That's a good question. It's just something that has always been talked about in the group. I want to know that too, and I need to look it out. But I think it technically has to do with the fact that your body burns way more than 500 calories throughout the day, so it doesn't, count as much. Yeah, always remember the reason you got angry enough to make a correction and focus on the small goals you can achieve. Have you cut out sugar altogether or real sugar? I haven't cut out any sugar. I still eat. I mean, I still have sugar in foods and stuff like that, but I'm just more conscious of what I eat, so it's a healthier diet. Does that make sense? But I don't look at the back of my food and be like, is there sugar in this? There's sugar in this. I can't have it. 1 gram of protein per pound or more. Since you're only eating every other day, should it be more? I don't count my macros, so I cannot give you a good answer on that to know. I just know that I eat what I eat and I'm full, and then from there. Staying busy these days with nothing to do at home is making and fasting much harder. I agree. They say 1 ounce per half your body weight in pounds. Yeah, so, like, for example, this water bottle is, like, it's 115 ounces. I don't drink 115 ounces every day. Like, that's way too much for me because that's just a lot. I'd be in the bathroom all the time. Rachel, I'm glad that you went ahead and done the live video, not just for us, but for yourself. It is great seeing you laughing. Thank you. We are out of time. Yeah, I gotta get off here so I can talk about some other things as well. I found if you allowed yourself to eat, it would throw me off and send me into a bigger calorie intake, which is why I don't do the 500 or the OMAD. Yeah. I think you should drink as much water as you feel comfortable drinking. All this is about what you feel comfortable doing, not pushing yourself so hard you're suffering. Okay. Where do you find your link? Where can I find your link for your bread? Vegan Love, are you on our 95 days of fasting page? I have the link there, but I can't get on the computer and like add the link right now just because of, you know, I'm on my phone right now, but whenever I'm done with this video, I can save it. But some of the times these like videos, these live videos don't actually post to my page until the next day, so I don't know if it will tonight. But if you're on our 95 days of fasting group, the link should be on there. And what's the best advice you can give for someone starting to fast for the next month? Don't beat yourself up if you can't make it through a full fasting day because you're just starting. You know, it's okay to have that 500 calorie crunch or to not be able to make it through a full day and have to eat something. Make sure you're drinking water to help keep you full. Distractions. My big thing that I always say is coffee, water. You know the drill. Uh, and things like that. Like distractions are a big thing. Motivation, determination, willpower. How much do you think one can lose in 45 days? That'd be like a month and a half. Well, it depends on the person and what they do. It talks about, you know, it varies for everyone. I can't give you a good enough answer because I don't know. Like, you know, I lost 16 pounds my first month, but I saw somebody in the group say that they lost 20 pounds in their first month. So that's awesome. But I'm cutting out all questions there. I got to go write down some things that I want to see in my own fasting app so I can meet with Geek Squad over here. We're going to talk about it. I'm hoping Ian will be off his call. But like I said, tomorrow, guys, we're going to talk about vision boards. So let's, if you are interested in doing that, get some supplies. We'll write down our vision boards together, tack it up on your wall, and hopefully help you guys stay motivated and determined to see your vision and get through your fasting day. So I'm going to let you go, and we will talk tomorrow, and I will maybe talk on the 95 days of fasting group later, but we'll see. Thanks, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, same time tomorrow, the 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, or an hour before now. So an hour backwards. Yeah, anyways. Bye, guys. I will see you in a little bit, and or I guess see you tomorrow, and have a good day.